everyone. We are here at the Nürburgring. Welcome to the BMW M2Cup, and check out the weather. Finally, we've got sunshine, only a few clouds in the sky. So much better than yesterday, because yesterday's weather was terrible with all the fog. So unfortunately, the race yesterday did not take place, but we had a lot of action nonetheless yesterday. And also one of the things BMW did was a Mario Kart challenge with the BMW M2 drivers and some other people. And with me is David Kolkman. I'm sorry, there we go. And he's the coach of the drivers. Excited to have you here in the interview. And speaking of the challenge you guys did yesterday, tell us about it. I think it was pretty crazy and a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Actually, Lucas and I, so the commentator and I, we had the idea to make like a fun event of this, because we couldn't run the real car, so we decided to get our Nintendo Switch and do a couple of competitions with the drivers, and it was a lot of fun. The whole paddock was behind us, supporting us, and basically we had a lot of fun. Yeah,
looking at the pictures, we can see them right now. It looked like a lot of fun, and it definitely was a fantastic idea since the race did not take place. And I mean, especially these young talents, they were so enthusiastic about racing, and I guess it was a big disappointment that they didn't drive.
Of course, yeah. I mean, you always want to drive as much as you can as a driver, and if the circumstances are like this, like yesterday, a lot of fog, so it was not possible to run. I think we made the best of it, and the drivers had a lot of fun.
Absolutely, and you're the coach of the drivers, and I mean, why is the BMW M2 Cup so perfect for these young talents, for these new talents?
Yeah, we are trying to get the youngest people possible that want to get this or make the step into GT sports. So we have a lot of karting drivers here. I mean, the championship is as basic as it gets. So we support them in every way. They can have a look at all the data from every car, and we just want to teach them how to be a successful racing driver in the future.
And that certainly works, and I think Theo Overhaus is the perfect example, because he started in the DTM Trophy, then he did BMW M2 Cup, and is now starting actually in the DTM this weekend. So tell me about Theo. He's a fantastic talent, right?
Yeah, he was competing in the M2 Cup last year for a few races, and also what we saw there was very impressive. I mean, he was already winning, I think, his first or second race in the championship, and continued to do so, and now he made the step into DTM for as the youngest driver, I think. So that's very impressive, and I think that shows the potential of the M2 Cup and how strong these drivers are.
Absolutely. Theo is only 17, and he will be racing also today in the DTM, so that's exciting news. We spoke with him yesterday, so let's listen to that. But first of all, David, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So hey guys, after starting last year in BMW M2 Cup, I was going this year to the DTM Trophy. And after half a year, I was allowed to do a guest start in the DTM. So as you can see, the BMW M2 Cup is a very good platform to show your potential. So if you want to sit one day in this car and doing also some DTM stuff, go and check out the BMW M2 Cup website.
So that was Theo, and of course we're looking forward to how he's going to be doing in racing today in the DTM. But now back to the BMW M2 Cup, because Alex Hoffmann is here with us, former MotoGP driver, and we're so thrilled to have you here in the BMW M2 Cup, starting from P16 unfortunately though. So what are you expecting today?
First of all, the pleasure is mine to be here, and of course I want to battle with some of those guys and girls up front, so I have to step up a notch, but I think it's possible, so it's a long race.
And you as a professional saying it's going to be tough with these guys, I mean, what do you think of these new talents? They're pretty, they are going to put a challenge on for you, and they look, their talents look promising, right?
They're fast, they're very experienced on this car, so it's not easy to battle with them, but I think it's a perfect way to get into Gran Turismo racing. And well, for me, as soon as the lights go off, I'll just give my best, that's it.
I'm sure you will, Alex. Enjoy, thank you so much. And there's one more guest starter here in the BMW M2 Cup. He's a famous German TV presenter, and his name is Matthias Killing, and it's actually his first race in the BMW M2 Cup, and he only did his license a few weeks ago at the Lausitzring. Matthias, it's good to see you. How is it?
I'm so nervous. You can't imagine. I'm so nervous. It's unbelievable. It's like the first day in school, you know. Amazing.
But you did the license, and I mean, obviously you know what to do. So what's your biggest fear that's what's going to happen?
No, I have no fear. I have an aim. I want to I don't want to damage anything. I want to have fun, and I want to have a good start. But I have no fear.
So in regards to being nervous, if you think about your adrenaline level right now and also your pulse, what would you say? How high is it?
About 150 or something like that.
All right, Matthias, well, you go for it, all right? Enjoy the moment. Thank you so much, Matthias Killing. And yeah, we're really looking forward to this phenomenal race in just a bit. So enjoy, and here's your commentator.
Thank you so much, Verena. I spoke to Matthias earlier on, and absolutely it is the case that his nerves are genuine. He's a great guy, and as he said just a few moments ago to Verena, what he wants to do is not damage the car, have fun, and yeah, bring it home safely, and I'm sure he will. Best of luck to Matthias. Best of luck also to Alex Hoffman. What a lovely, charming guy he is as well. They start from P16 and P17. However, it's fascinating, the front row with 30 seconds to go before the start of the race, if I may, because the man that's P2 in the points at the moment, Maxime Osten, he's going from P1. He's got pole position, and Fabian Crime, who is leading the points championship at the moment, is alongside him going from P2. However, do not rule out those that are on the second row of the grid, Horsten and Dow, because they are going to want to challenge as well. We'll bring you the grid in full in just a few moments when we get the formation lap underway. But hello from up here in our TV studio, and welcome to the BMW M2 Cup. At last, we are racing today, following the fog-affected, futile attempt at racing yesterday. I have to say it was never really going to happen. Unfortunately, the weather conditions really played havoc with our plans to bring you the BMW M2 Cup yesterday. We'll make up for it today. Here then is the grid. It's Maxime Osten from Fabian Crime and Bart Horsten, and then Jarno Dow, Robert Heffler and Mark-David Muller. Then it's Lawrence Stegman and Tom Nittel. Mikhail Makesh goes from P9 with Jacqueline Kreutzpoint and a good quali from Jacqueline going from P10, completing the fifth row of the grid. So the first 5 rows you see there. Keep your eyes on Sean Fuster as well. He could do some damage from there. P11. Diego Stifter alongside. Then it's Alessia Kreutzpointner, Aaron Venish, Stefan Cruz. And then we see our guests Alex Hoffman and Matthias Killing going from P16 and P17 on our starting grid for BMW M2 Cup here at the Nürburgring. Fantastic track, of course, here in the Eifel, which explains the weather. 3.629 kilometers. There are 11 turns. 7 of them are right-handers, and 4 of them are left-handers. Drivers weaving from side to side to generate some temperature into those tires, ready to go racing. And you will have seen the photographs of the Mario challenge that happened yesterday, which was fantastic. And there you can see how close it is in the points. Fabian Crime on 84 points, Maxime Osten on 78. Just 6 points between the lead of the Drivers' Championship. And Maxime Osten, I remind you, goes from pole position today with Fabian alongside him. And Tom Nittel going to want to do some chasing as well. He didn't qualify quite as well as he would have liked. He's on the 4th row of the grid going from P8. So then the cars then, which may I remind you, are rotated for every race event. So once a driver gets used to one car at one event, it provides no advantage to them whatsoever, because the cars are all rotated throughout the pack of drivers, and they're drawn by lots so that everything is absolutely equal all of the time. The team doing a brilliant job with the BMW M2 Cup, and as we heard from Theo Uverhaus, a driver in the BMW M2 Cup from last year, now he's driving in DTM, and someone has gone around and spun there, and that is the number 99 car of Lawrence Stegman, who thankfully we are only on the formation lap, and he will be able to get the car back into its rightful grid position, which is P7. So Lawrence Stegman then, in trying to warm up the tyres, actually lost the back end of the car. Quite aggressive in terms of warming up, and then had the embarrassment of having to put the car on the grass and bring it back into his grid position. As you can see, he's making his way through the crocodile of cars now to take up his correct grid position. So you can be rather keen in terms of lighting up those tyres, and that's precisely what the very tall Maxime Osten is doing right now in the number 54 car. So Maxime Osten and Fabian Crime, then P1 and P2. There is the car of Fabian Crime, our current championship leader. he will have the inside line going into turn number 1, but of course he is 1 car length at the start behind Maxime Oosten. So Maxime, I predict, will try and dive to the inside to protect that inside line going into turn number 1. Turn number 1 is always a funnel here at the Nürburgring. It's a tight right-hander. It's almost a hairpin. You're running downhill. And we will see what happens as the final car of Matthias Gilling comes into grid order. We'll get the green flag from the marshal at the back of the pack. Hold on to your hats and any other loose clothing you may have. We are about to go racing with the BMW M2 Cup, and away we go. And what a start, a brilliant start from Marc-David Müller. Now, didn't see whether he anticipated the lights and got going, but the start is under investigation, which would suggest to me that Marc-David Müller's brilliant start was probably really rather too brilliant. We will see what race control have got to say about that. But from Maxime Oosten, it was a good start as well. Less of a good start for Fabian Krym, who's lost out to Bart Horsten. And he's now trying to wrestle that place back. At the moment, leading is Marc-David Müller. But as I said, I wonder whether he did anticipate the lights. So through the first sequence of turns, cars and tyres are still not up to temperature yet, and Fabian Krym running really, really wide. And in his quest to try and get on terms with Bart Horsten, he has, of course, got Jarno Douw and Robert Heffler behind him as well, and they're champing at the bit too. So you can see, as the order changes on the left-hand side of your screen, just who is doing what. As Aaron Venish is dropping down the order. And there, Fabian Krym is really under pressure now from the man that spun on the formation lap, and that's Lawrence Stegman. So Stegman really pushing hard here. So the opening lap of this BMW M2 Cup race as we head up towards the chicane now. And the chicane does provide a overtaking opportunity. You've got to be brave and late on the brakes and try and dive and send it up the inside. And really bouncing across the curbs was Heffler there. And your exit from this turn can set you up for a go going into turn number 1, would you believe? And Tom Nittel, who I said is potentially going to be one to watch as well. He's having a real ding-dong battle with the number 53 car. And you can see the drivers are still weaving a bit, trying to generate tyre temperature, I should say. And Tom Nittel then on the inside here going into turn number 1. Oh, the car gets very, very sideways. He manages to hold on to it. That is brilliant driving from Nittel, who anticipated just where he could place the car going into that turn and did it really well. Meantime, Fabian Krym is really taking the battle to the number 50 car, or Bart Horsten then. So Bart Horsten is really under pressure here. Let's see in replay as... Well, Marc-David Müller actually shortcutted the chicane. So whether he jumped the start or not, we're yet to find out. But he certainly shortcutted the chicane. Did he get any advantage from that? Well, there is advantage to be gained because it's less of an acute angle, to be honest with you. So Stegman in P5, chasing down Fabian Krym, who at the moment is running in P4. And, of course, with his rearview mirrors full of Lawrence Stegman, he's not able to attack Horsten ahead. So that means that Marc-David Müller and Maxime Oosten, who are P1 and P2 on the track currently, and you can see the cars getting very sideways through the chicane there as temperature is now beginning to reach optimum in terms of the tyres. Lawrence Stegman taking a look at the outside and diving up the inside. There is Jarno Douw. So Jarno Douw having a good fight here with the number 53 car. And Jarno Douw then, he's got the inside line. This is a drag race all the way into turn number 1. Let's keep your eyes on this one. It's all for P8 in the race at the moment. So as they head into turn number 1 now, can Jarno Douw get the car rotated nicely? Yes, he can. Brilliant move, textbook way of using the exit from the chicane and then the final turn to set yourself up perfectly for an overtake going into turn number 1. So a battle there going on between Sean Fuster and the number 19 car, which is driven by one of the Kreuzpointners that you can see. And it's Jacqueline that drives the number 19 car. So Marc-David Müller still showing his leader, and I've seen nothing on the timing screen yet to indicate whether a penalty is going to be applied. But nonetheless, Maxime Oosten has got by the number 22 car now, so it's almost academic because Maxime Oosten now leads. Now, this is playing really into his hands in terms of the Drivers' Championship. Because the man that is leading the Drivers' Championship at the moment, Fabian Crime, is running down there in P4, so Maxime Oosten really needed, and sure enough, car number 22 has got a drive-through penalty for jumping the start, so glad I called that correctly. I just thought it was a really, really good start from Marc-David Müller. It was almost too good. And race control have decided it was too good. He tried to anticipate the lights, jumped the start, and therefore, although he's showing us P2 at the moment and led the early stages of this race, he's got a drive-through penalty, which is going to take him way, way down the order. So, Maxime Oosten leading then, and that, of course, brings Fabian Crime back into a podium place because he will be running effectively in P3. We'll take a look at a replay of the start in just a moment, and here, watch the blue car on the right-hand side. There you can see, actually did really, really go before the lights were extinguished, so there was no question about that. But once you've made that commitment and you've done it, then you can't dial out of it, unfortunately. And that's why the start looks so, so impressive from the number 22 car. But has picked up a drive-through penalty. And there you can see, once again, it's even better from that angle. And thanks to our brilliant TV production crew for bringing us those replays so that we could see in clear example just what a jump start it was. So there was no question about the penalty that was going to be awarded, which has been, and that is a drive-through penalty. So we just wait to see when the car of Marc-David Müller decides to take that drive-through penalty. He has to do it within 3 laps of it being notified. So there we are, various replays, and there you could see Tom Nittel, who, it was a big save from Tom when he ran wide onto the loose stuff. He didn't lose the back end of the car, he managed to hold on to it, and there was the number 14 car of Jarno Dow, also running very, very wide. In fact, all the cars running wide. Bear in mind, at that stage of the race, are on very, very cold tyres. Real battle going on here that we could see between Sean Fuster and the number 19 car of Cruz, and that was really enjoyable to watch, so thanks for all of those replays. So at the moment then, Marc-David Müller has not come in. There's confirmation of that drive-through penalty that has been awarded for the jump start. Tom Nittel sets the fastest lap of the race. Still a driver to keep an eye on, running in P6 at the moment. Got Lawrence Stegman ahead. And here we can see the Jacqueline Kreutzpoint in the car, chasing down the number 47 car of Mikhail Makash, because Mikhail Makash running in that number 25 car ahead is the number 47 car. That is Makash, and then it's Diego Stifter in the number 25 car. Mikhail has managed to get by to pick up that P9 place. So where are we? 22 and a half minutes of the race remaining, plus a lap to come, and it's Maxime Oosten that is leading the way by a reasonably healthy margin, although it's academic, because he is ahead of Marc-David Müller, but we know that Marc-David Müller has got to take that drive-through penalty, so it's Oosten that we are really concerned with, who is effectively running in net P2, and that, of course, brings Fabian Crime into the podium places, at least. He's running in P3 at the moment, but some distance down on our race leader, Maxime Oosten. And it is those two drivers that are fighting for that P1 position in the Drivers' Championship at the moment. So throwing the cars across the chicane and using all of the curves, really unsettling the cars. And here's perhaps another opportunity for us to see how you can set the car up perfectly to go into turn number 1. And it's Tom Nittel in the yellow car here who actually puts the car ahead even before they get to turn number 1. And this is going to bring Tom Nittel right on terms with Fabian Crime potentially. But Lawrence Stegman is sticking with it here. And now Tom Nittel runs a bit wide. That opens up a window of opportunity to Lawrence. And is Lawrence going to be able to go through, because he's got the inside line for this turn, but that will quickly become the outside line for the next one, and Tom Nittel keeps his foot in. What a brilliant battle is going on for P5 here. Both of the drivers absolutely, totally committed to it, and it's a joy to watch these young talents as their skill set grows centimetre by centimetre of tarmac. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Fabian Crime, meantime, is continuing to fight hard with Bart Horsten. but has not been able to find a way yet by, and Bart doing a really good job of defending what is a net P2, because the blue car that we can see on screen has still got to take a drive-through penalty. Now, by my reckoning, this is the last opportunity for Mark-David Müller to take that drive-through penalty before he'll be severely told off by race control, because you have to do it within 3 laps of it being notified. Something else I've managed to get right today, because sure enough, he dives into the pit lane to take that drive-through penalty. And now the race order is the real race order, if you will. And there you can see, I mean, absolutely amazing just how physical these drivers are prepared to throw their M2 Cup cars through that chicane, and particularly Lawrence Stegman there. That was amazing to see. So Mark-David Müller then dives into the pit lane to take his drive-through penalty, and he will return, I'm guessing, probably right at the back of the pack. Or there you can see Matthias Killing coming through now, who's one of our guest drivers, along with Alex Hoffman. They're running in P16 and P17. But they will be elevated one position by dint of the fact that Müller has taken his drive-through penalty now. So Cruz is running in not P19. Cruz is running in P12 at the moment in the number 19 car. So good showing there for Cruz, doing a good job. Just think that Mark-David Müller may have got by Matthias Killing. But I might be wrong in that. I was just looking at another screen, which is why I was distracted just for a moment. Maxime Oosten at the front of the pack has got a 2.5-second lead over Bart Horsten, and then it's Fabian Krime and Tom Nittel, who in P4 is a danger man, because Tom Nittel is continuing to set fastest laps. So if he can get on terms with Fabian Krime for the final podium place, it'll be very, very interesting to see how he is able to develop that. There you can see Müller, who has served that drive-through penalty. And there you can see the number 66 car of Alex Hoffman. So here is Fabian Krime now, who is on terms with Bart Horsten. And Fabian now taking a look at the outside, which means he will try and get underneath the car now. But that gives him the outside line for the next turn. You've got to be so committed to this. Go and try the inside again, but that will become the outside for the next turn. So you have to be very minded as to where you place the car. And just a little love tap between the two of them here. They're having a fantastic fight, and this is what's going on for P2 in the race. Maxime Oosten is disappearing up the road as best he can. Now, the more that the car of Bart Horsten and Fabian Krime are fighting, that is allowing Tom Nittel to get ever closer as well. So the two yellow cars that will be running P3 and P4, it's Fabian Krime, our Drivers' Championship leader, who's currently P3, but Tom Nittel, who is blisteringly quick at the moment, who is doing the chasing potentially for that final podium place. So it is Oosten that's leading from Horsten, Krime, Nittel. Then it is Stegman, Dow, Heffler, Marquez, Jacqueline Kreuzpointner, and Diego Stifter. They all occupy the top 10 places at the moment. And there you can see going around the car of Sean Fuster, making contact with the number 15 car of Alessia Kreuzpointner. And that just pitches the car into a spin. So very unfortunate for Sean Fuster then. Absolutely nothing malicious or intentional in that at all. And he just gets the car sideways and gets it back, pointing in the right direction once again. Fabian Krime knows that time is running out now for him to get by the number 50 car of Bart Horsten before Tom Nittel comes bouncing upon his back bumper. And there you can see, look, under braking, Tom Nittel almost makes contact with Fabian Krime. And right behind them, brilliant battle going on between Dow and Stegman as well. Stegman on the outside here. Jarno Dow's got the inside line, but Lawrence Stegman with the number 99 car stays ahead. Now Tom Nittel is really into this three-way fight, which is going to become a three-way fight for P2. And then the pack that is just behind are going to be joining in also. So much action going on in this BMW M2 Cup race. We're live from the Nürburgring. And in the sunshine, unlike yesterday. Enough said. Maxime Oosten leading by 3.5 seconds, may I say. Because neither of these two drivers are able to get on terms with Maxime Oosten because they're too busy thinking about defending from each other currently. And as Fabian Crime then down the back straight now behind the paddock, just lines up the number 50 car, but he's not close enough to be able to send it up the inside going into the chicane. No chance of being able to do that. All playing nicely into the hands of Osten, who maintains that 3.5 second margin that he has. Big shout out for Matthias Killing and also for Alex Hoffman, who are doing a great job in their cars, currently running P14 and P16 respectively, and really enjoying their time in the BMW M2 Cup. Loving it, in fact. So here comes Matthias Killing then. Fair play, Matthias. You're a braver man than me. May I say, though, not that the offer was made. I'm sure the technology exists where Lukas Gajewski, who is the German television commentator, and myself, that we could perhaps have our own little BMW M2 Cup race and commentate on our efforts live from the cars. There's an idea. Right. So well done to Matthias Killing. He has been so impressed with the way that the drivers are prepared and looked after by the team behind the BMW M2 Cup, and he's enjoying his time out there in the car as well. Great to see. Maxime Osten continuing to lead by 3.5 seconds. There's Lawrence Stegman in the number 99 car, currently running P5. There's the number 21 car of Jacqueline Kreutzpointner, and there is the number 25 car of Diego Stifter. So Maxime Osten then leads by 3.5 seconds. Big fight, which has kind of become a bit tepid now. It was quite hot just a couple of laps ago, is for P2. And just as I mentioned that, Fabian Crime lights the wick again and gets ever closer as they run through the chicane. Be interesting to see them round the final turn and how much closer Fabian Crime is to Bart Horsten now. He might be trying to line up a move going into turn number 1. Let's see if that develops and whether he is able to envelop that opportunity. Well, the opportunity is being denied by great defensive driving from Bart then, who makes sure the inside line is protected. Now Fabian will try and dive underneath, but again, very good car placement position by the number 50 driver, Bart Horsten. Doing a very good job here, defending for all he's worth. Now, these two have really upped the ante a little bit and have broken away from Tom Nittel by about a second, which really surprises me because at one point, Tom Nittel, with a fantastic outbraking move going into turn number 1, had got really on terms with these two. And I have to say, the quicker driver at the moment looks like Fabian Crime. It's all very well being quicker. You've got to find a way by. And I think Fabian Crime knows that it's about time that he tried. You can see him flashing the lights there, just trying to upset the concentration of Bart ahead of him. But thus far, Bart has done a brilliant job in defending. Really impressive from these young talents in these BMW M2 Cup cars. A very fair physical fight between the two of them. Here's Maxime Osten. Forgive me, Maxime, we've not talked a lot about you, but that's because you're in the lead by 3.5 seconds. Here's Fabian taking a look at the inside now, going into the chicane. So is Bart, oh, what a brilliant move from Fabian Crime then to take that P2 place. Gotta say, respect to Bart Horsten as well, because Bart Horsten allowed him racing room, and there was no contact between the two of them. That was fantastic racecraft from Fabian Crime and great racing respect from Bart Horsten as well. Really good to see. Now the question is this going to open up an opportunity for Tom Nittel to occupy the final podium place? We've got around 11.5 minutes plus a lap of the race to come. Maxime Osten leading by very nearly 4 seconds now. Just 4 1/1000s down on 4 seconds. Fabian Crime is running wide, and he lost a bit of time there as he rallycrossed through the runoff area. Had to get the opposite lock in use there to control the power slide from the BMW M2 Cup car, but he did hold on to it. Lawrence Stegman is currently running P5. Behind Stegman is Jarno Dow. Good showing from Jarno Dow as well, running in P6. So as I perhaps predicted, this now has really provoked and motivated Tom Nittel in the number 7 car, that yellow car, which is running in P4, to try and get a podium out of this race. This, the number 66 car that we were watching then of Alex Hoffman, who's having a fantastic time, and he's got Aaron Venish ahead of him. Stand by for an Alex Hoffman overtake to come then. Is he going to send it all the way around the outside here? It's going to be difficult. And sure enough, he wasn't able to do it. But he's clearly really enjoying himself out there, running in P15 at the moment. And certainly providing some great entertainment for us, as well as some extraordinary enjoyment for him in the car as well. I do not doubt for a moment. So brilliant driving. Only one retirement, and that is Sean Fuster, which is hugely regrettable. And Matthias Killing is running in P16 at the moment. So, Alex just taking a look at the inside of the number 12 car then, Aaron Venish. And we very nearly go 3 abreast going into turn number 1. And I'm pretty sure, now I hope I haven't missed something here, but as you can see from the left-hand side of the screen, Tom Nittell is in the pit lane. Now, to my knowledge, Tom hasn't picked up a penalty. So whether Tom has an issue, what a shame that is, because that was really turning into being a fantastic fight for the final podium place. So we'll find out what has happened to Tom Nittell in due course, but Tom Nittell is being shown as being in the pit lane. That's also replicated on the race control timing screen that I have here as well. So what a shame. So it's Osten leading from Fabian Crime and Bart Horsten. Then it is Lawrence Stegman and Jarno Dow now, who are P4 and P5. And there you can see the number 47 car of Mikael Makesh. And it's the Heffler in the number 53 car. So Maxime Osten extending his lead to very nearly 4 seconds now. So Osten, Crime, Horsten. So we're going to take a look just at the start once again, just whether, I suspect we're looking at this, just to see whether Tom Nittell, in the second of the yellow cars that you can see here, that would be close to call, I have to say. So race controller thinking that there is a second jump start as well. Now, now you could see the number 25 car of Diego Stifter get away and then stop. So I wonder whether it's Diego Stifter. It's certainly not Tom Nittell. So that's not the reason that he's come into the pit lane, which was initially what I was thinking, because I wonder whether he's taken a drive-through penalty, but I don't think so. We await what race control tell us. In the meantime, we have 7.5 minutes plus a lap of this race to continue as Alex Hoffman then. I'll tell you what, he's driving really, really well here. Having a real ding-dong battle here with Aaron Venish. Puts the car to the outside now. He'll try and get underneath now. So Alex doing a really good job. Really impressed here. Having a fantastic fight, which is exactly what he wanted to do. And the cars go side by side. We are talking about P14 place in this race, which is not shabby by any stretch of the imagination. For the moment, though, Aaron is still able to show a clean pair of heels to Hoffman, but Hoffman is trying, and fair play to him for that. Absolutely great to watch. 7 minutes plus a lap of the race remaining. Maxime Osten leading by very nearly 4 seconds. It's Fabian Crime who's P2. There's Bart Horsten who's P3. Lawrence Stegman, Jarno Dow P4 and P5. So now, as he reels in the number 12 car, I wonder whether he would be prepared to have a go there. Well, here we can see the fight's continuing to go on, and Lawrence Stegman losing the back end of the car initially. But Lawrence Stegman has been another fantastic driver to watch here, and this fight that is going on with Jarno Dow. Jarno Dow looks to be, if I may say, marginally quicker. And there is a queue of 4 cars here, which is going to be great for us. It's Stegman, Dow, then it's Heffler and Makesh, who are all involved in this, and we're fighting over P4 at the moment, which Lawrence Stegman holds. So these 4 cars then in a real train of talent as they're trying to just to elevate themselves and move themselves up another position here. It's really, really fantastic to watch. And fair play to Lawrence Stegman and to Jarno Douw and all the other drivers that are involved in this particular battle that we're watching. So the cars are all so equal. Oh, as a round has gone somewhere, the number 23 car. So that car of Matthias Killing has gone around somewhere, but no damage done, no problems. Just probably, yeah, you can see just, or it actually just did connect to the barrier just a little bit. That'll be an invoice for you, Matthias. Here we can see in replay again how really fraught this this fight that is going on at the moment is, as all three cars try to occupy the same piece of tarmac going into turn number 1. And I wonder if that is Matthias Killing with a retirement, whether he's trying to take the car back into the paddock. So let's continue with this. Mikael Makesh around the outside of Lawrence Stegman. Ahead of Stegman is Jarno Douw. Jarno Douw, who I said was looking just a little bit quicker. And also going through now is Mikael. Mikael goes through, and Stegman runs really, really wide, and that opens up the door of opportunity to Robert Heffler. So Robert, of course, took a P2 in the second race of the season this year. So he hoping to move himself up the order. And here you can see the overtakes as they came then. And you could just see also some avoiding action being taken there by Lawrence Stegman. Good respect and good to allow racing room for all the drivers. And it was a real dive to the inside from Jarno Douw. It was opportunistic, but a brilliant, brilliant job done by Jarno Douw. Good overtake there. Really impressive stuff. So here we can see the number 54 car of Maxime Oosten, who's leading now by a margin of some 5 seconds. And the fight for P2 is continuing as well. And here you can see Fabian Crime is really having to make the car quite wide. From Bart then, who's, wow, carrying so much speed into turn number 1, but he's going to have the outside line. He just can't quite get the car rotated. He has more momentum, but Fabian Crime just being a little bit more accurate going through turn number 1 is able to hold on to that position. But I tell you what, this is not all over yet. This is the fight that's going on for P2 in the race. It's been it's a fight that's continued for a lot of laps, and it's been brilliant driving from both of them because it's been very, very clean and fair. Hardly, there have been 1 or 2 little love taps between them, but that's all there's been. And Fabian Crime then making his BMW M2Cup car just a little bit wider than it is and sticking his elbows out metaphorically to protect himself from Bart Horsten, who's Bart Horsten's best finish has been a P4 thus far. Here's Maxime Oosten then, out on his own by 6.5 seconds now, and the photographers catching all the action of this fantastic young driver as he throws the car over the curbs at the chicane. Absolutely not afraid to give the car everything. And Maxime Oosten is just a lovely young man as well. It's about 8 foot tall, you know. I am exaggerating a little bit, but he's a very tall young man, but extremely eloquent and articulate and very good fun to talk to, as well as being quite clearly an excellent racing driver. There you can see Jarno Douw then, who's coming under pressure from Mikael Makesh. Jarno Douw currently holding that P5 position, and for Jarno Douw, that would be his best finish of the season if it stays this way. We've got just under 2 minutes plus a lap remaining in this BMW M2 Cup race here. We're live from the Nürburgring, where P2 is up for grabs, potentially to Bart, as Bart Horsten tries to find his way past Fabian Crime, but Fabian Crime is sticking his elbows out, as I said just a few moments ago, to protect that P2 place and really keep the championship fight alive between himself and Maxime Oosten. Meantime, Mikael Makesh and Jarno Douw, who are fighting over P4. So there are 2 very, very important battles that are continuing to rage all the way, probably until the checkered flag. And at the moment, Jarno Douw is still holding over Heffler. But there is no question, the pressure is being piled on but he is soaking it up like the proverbial sponge at the moment, although the back end of the car looked just a little bit loose then. So the number 53 car is being driven by Heffler here. Heffler trying hard just to get a little lapse of concentration from Jarno Dow. They all absolutely throw the cars through the chicane. Now an excellent exit from the chicane from Robert Heffler, and that could play right into the hands of him then. And there we can see the P2 fight going on. But as I say, it was an awesome, awesome exit from Robert Heffler, and that has been enough. And now Jarno Dow is potentially losing out on his P5 place as well, because Mikael Makesh is on the inside as now Bart Horsten tries to find his way around the outside of Fabian Crime. And they all send it into turn number 1. It's Robert Heffler ahead of Jarno Dow. Dow losing out through the chicane. That's where it wasn't a mistake. It was just being on the wrong line. And Heffler just got better exit and better traction and better momentum out of that chicane. And that often, and many racing drivers have told me, you know, a setup for an overtake move going into turn number 1 can be set up with the exit of the chicane. And actually, he did a very, very good job of that. The clock has counted down to 0. So at the conclusion of this lap, we'll have one more to do. Bring it on, please, because for what we lacked yesterday, brought about by the fog, we are seeing some fantastic racing today. And a big up to the green car that you can see at the back of that picture, which is Jacqueline Kreutzbeutner doing a brilliant job in P8. Okay. So P2 is between Fabian Crime and Bart Horsten. Horsten trying the outside into the chicane, but Fabian Crime's got it covered off. Now, what Horsten needs to do is get a good exit from there. This is the five-way fight that's going on right behind them, and it's a five-way fight for the P4, 5, 6, 7, 8 positions. And Fabian Crime now is going to start what I consider to be the last lap. Sure enough, the graphics indicate it is the last lap. So Fabian Crime has got to defend for all he's worth for one more lap, which means that Bart Horsten is going to try even more and even harder to find a way past Fabian Crime to take the second step on the podium. Maxime Ooston at the moment, as around has gone Mikael Makesh in the number 47 car. So that five-way fight was always going to be really, really tricky because so much going on, and Heffler at the moment is still able to hold on to this P4 place, but Jarno Dow is pushing very hard, and that's just really, really unfortunate. Big beneficiary, though, is Jacqueline Kreutzbeutner, who's moved up the order and was able, just by keeping a cool head, could see what was going to happen ahead, and Lawrence Stegman and Mikael Makesh making contact there. And big beneficiary, Jacqueline Kreutzbeutner. This could be her best finish of the season so far, I believe. I need to check into the statistics. I'm sure I'm right. So, Maxime Ooston, it's been a faultless drive. And, Maxime, I apologize for perhaps not giving you the airtime you deserve for such a rich drive. But with some 10 seconds to your advantage, all the fights have been going on behind you. And Fabian Crime has done a great job in defending this P2 position. So here comes Maxime Ooston then to take the checkered flag. A brilliant drive from Maxime. And that is his third win in a row, if my record books are correct. Taking P2, it's going to be Fabian Crime. And then Horsten virtually welded to the back of the car as they cross the line. And then it is Heffler from Dow. Jacqueline Kreutzbeutner banks P6 ahead of Lawrence Stegman. And there you can see the number 15 car of Alessia Kreutzbeutner heading towards the flag. Now Diego Stifter takes P8. Now Mark David Muller, who took a drive-through penalty, still manages to finish in P9. Alessia Kreutzbeutner P10. Mikael Makesh in the end takes P11 ahead of Cruz. And then it should be Aaron Venish, I believe, that will take P13. And a very creditable performance from Alex Hoffman, who I believe will take P14. That is confirmed. An excellent BMW M2 Cup race. Well done to all our drivers. Awesome entertainment. Absolutely awesome drive from Maxime Ooston. Once again, proving just what a talent he is. P1 for Maxime Ooston. And as I say, having taken 2 wins at the Nürburgring. Here's confirmation of the result then from here at the Nürburgring. Maxime Oosten takes P1 from Fabian Kreim, P2. Then it's Bart Horsten, Robert Heffler, Jarno Dahl, P5, Jacqueline Kreuzpoint. Well done, Jacqueline, P6. Lawrence Stegman, P7, Diego Stifter. Then was P8 ahead of Mark David Muller. Then Alessia Kreuzpointner ahead of Markesh, Cruz, Venish, Hoffman, and then DNFs for Killing, Tom Nittel, and also for Sean Fuster. What an excellent race. So what we lacked yesterday, which was a race at all, we've more than made up for today with a superb performance from all the drivers. Taking P3 then, Bart Horsten. After a real lesson in defensive driving like never before, Fabian Kreim takes P2. Another dominant performance from Maxime Oosten, race winner. And there, the checkered flag once again falling to the car of Maxime Oosten. And there the applause rings out for our top 3 drivers. First to congratulate Christian Goebel. There's Karen Henkefend, and to the left-hand side of the picture is driver coach David Kolkman, who's a great guy. So you can see the congratulations being afforded to the drivers. It's very frustrating for them yesterday, of course, because they want to be driving. Now there you can see just how tall Maxime Oosten is. I was somewhat flippant by saying he's 8 foot tall, but he is a very tall chap, you know. And well done, and great camaraderie between all the drivers as well. They spend so much time together in terms of their training regime, and they really do bond with each other, which is lovely to see, and is all part of the BMW M2Cup philosophy. So now you can see the points deficit to Fabian Kreim is merely 3 points. So Fabian Kreim still leads on 104 points. Maxime Oosten is P2 on 101. Then it is Bart Horsten, and then Robert Heffler and Mark David Muller, then Lawrence Stegman, Tom Nittel. He didn't finish that race. And Mikhail Markesh and Diego Stifter. So there you can see the Drivers' Championship, the way it's looking at the moment. So some very happy drivers down there, I am sure. And Verena is with some of them right now.
I've got Maxime Oosten here, and he's got a huge smile in his face. It's your 3rd victory in a row, so congratulations. You've got to be thrilled.
Yeah, thank you. It was really good. It was a shame that yesterday didn't continue, because I was also on pole. But yeah, it's very good to win the Sunday race always.
And also the gap is closing to Fabian, so there are only a few points between you. So hopefully in the next race, who knows, you can maybe take the challenge, the leadership.
It's going to be very close in the end, I think. I think there are only a couple points in between us, so really looking forward to the battle.
Absolutely. But it was a good battle today, but then again, you didn't have to fight very much because you were just so fast.
No, on the start I saw a blue car just flying, so I thought, okay, very good start. And then I overtook him, and yeah, for the rest it was just waiting till the finish drops.
You did a phenomenal job. Thank you so much, Maxime. And we're going to try to grab Fabian Kreim here, who was doing everything he could, everything that was in the power, and you were fighting so hard. But I guess you've got to be very happy with the P2 nonetheless, and you're still the leader of the championship, but the gap is closing.
Yeah, to be honest, it was not the best race I did in my life. Yeah, in the beginning it was I lost a little bit time. After the overtaking, it was much better. At the end, I lost a little bit the rear of the tires, and yeah, it was a tough race and a long race. But at the end, yeah, it's very good points, very important points. For sure, I'm not the happiest person today because P1 would be much nicer. But at the end, it was very important points.
Absolutely, and a P2 is still something to smile about. But obviously,
yes, but when you are the leader in the championship, so you want to definitely P1 at the end.
But the thing is, I know that at the next race you're going to fight even harder. Am I right, Fabian? All right. Thank you so much. And we've got the man here, the rookie, who's on P3. So congratulations. We've got Bart Horsten here. And yeah, congratulations. So how does it feel to have a third place in this race?
A bit bittersweet. I'm really happy with my own performance, and going to the weekend, you know, I wanted to get a podium, and it's really nice to have that after not racing tomorrow. But at the same time, when you're so close to second and you don't get it, it's a little bit frustrating. But I think it's really good because I know what I need to work on. It's the first time I've been able to be close on track with Fabian and Maxime, and you know, they've been the class of the field, and for me it's really great to be up there with them so I can learn a lot faster. So yeah, it was a really fun race.
It was fun racing. It was excellent to watch as well. I mean, you really made Fabian's life pretty difficult. You were breathing down his neck.
Yeah, I would have liked to give him a bit more of a hard time at the end. So you know, I'm really happy, but I know a little bit disappointed in some ways. But my first podium's really cool. So yeah, enjoying it. I love the track.
Exactly, and I think that's worth a smile. Your first podium. So thank you very much. And here's your commentator.
Great to hear all of those emotions, if you will, from our drivers there, as conversation going on between Fabian Kramer and Maxime Osten. Then, as Fabian says, he's very well aware of what he's doing in terms of the championship, and the gap has narrowed, and it's narrowed in the favour of Maxime Osten, who, I have to say, from my point of view, it's a very dominant win from Maxime, but that was primarily brought about because of the fights that were going on behind, and therefore he was able to escape up the road. And that's exactly what he wanted. Incidentally, there has been a 30-second time penalty added to the race time of car number 99, which is Lawrence Stegman, who has therefore dropped down the order to P13, and that was for causing a collision. So there we are. They're bringing you all the official announcements from race control as well, and that was literally given to us just as just after the checkered flag came down. We're awaiting the podium for our top three drivers, which is going to be very interesting indeed. And what a great race! And do bear in mind, it's only a couple of weeks' time, and we're going to be back racing again at Spa-Francorchamps. Very long leg stretching circuit, if ever there was one. So Christine Curling there, who works so very hard organising the podium presenters for us. Listening to Maxime there. Really good to try and listen into the conversations, but the camera and microphone are not quite close enough for us to be able to hear. So. They've turned the gain up a little bit. We're just waiting for the podium. And you see, Fabian Kramer is not taking any part in that conversation at the moment.
M2Cup. Wir starten mit Bart Horsten aus Australien auf Position 3. Herzlichen Glückwunsch.
So, the come on.
Bart Horsten, dritte
Come on, Bart.
Position in diesem
Go to the
6.
podium.
Lauf des BMW M2Cup. Auf dem Podium begrüßen wir aus Deutschland, normalerweise im Rallye-Auto, aber er zeigt, dass er sich auch im M2 ordentlich schlagen kann. Fabian Kramer.
Here comes Fabian Kramer. Now, Bart's trophy should have been given to him by Matthias Killing. Of course, competed in the race.
Kommt aus den Niederlanden und heißt Maxime Osten.
And here comes the very tall Maxime Osten to be on the top step of the podium. So, trophy's about to be presented. But first of all, it's time for the national anthem, of course. Anthem plays out then. Ollie Sittler down there looking after the trophy presentations and the presentation, if you will, of the podium ceremony.
Alex Hoffmann übergibt den Pokal an unseren Australier, an Bart Horsten.
So Alex Hoffman then, who competed in the race, and Hotfoot has made it out of the car to present the trophy there. So the BMW M2 Cup. And Bruno Bose here to make the P2 trophy presentation to Fabian Kreim. Well, the P2 trophy is a disappointment to Fabian, but he will come back fighting stronger at Spa-Francorchamps. Björn Lellman then, BMW representative here to make the race winners trophy presentation, as he congratulates the P3 and P2 drivers first before awarding that trophy to Maxi Mosten. And Matthias Killing, who's hot-footed from the car as well, to join in the fun also and congratulate those drivers that made it onto the podium in the BMW M2 Cup. Matthias, you did a fine job. And
please get together for the photo.
all the drivers getting together now for the photographs, and as you can see, Maxime ducks down to allow Fabian and Bart to be kind of at the same level in terms of height. And now it is time for the bubbly on the podium. A brilliant BMW M2 Cup race once again. And these young talents really turning out to put the capital T into the word of talent. Up next, we're off to Spa-Francorchamps. We look forward to seeing you there. Bye-bye for now.